Joined now by Chief Meteorologist Tony Petracca. The latest track forecast Ian to make landfall as early as Friday.
And we're talking about a storm that could pack 90-mile-per-hour winds, too. I mean, this is going to be bad.
Yeah, in fact, probably well over 90. In fact, the latest forecast, Mike and Shannon, has, the winds perhaps reaching as high as 140 miles per hour, Category 4 storm. And it's not so much Friday, but rather, tomorrow night through Friday. Because of its slow movement, it will impact the entire west side of Florida because of its slow movement over the next several days. And we'll have more on Ian in just a second. In the meantime, New Bedford is quiet. Skies are partly cloudy, looking at temperatures now that are in the 60s. And threat tracker overnight, Tuesday, Wednesday. You can tack on Thursday, Friday, and more than likely the weekend. Just a quiet, dry stretch of weather ahead. So a little system coming through the Great Lakes right now, responsible for a few isolated showers that came through earlier this evening. All eyes on Ian now over the western tip of Cuba. Here's the Gulf of Mexico in Florida. The latest now from the National Hurricane Center. Category 2 storm. The winds now from 100 up to 105. The pressure continues to drop, and it will go from Category 2 to Category 4 in this position by tomorrow night. The impacts are already being felt in southwest Florida and the Keys by tomorrow night. Tampa by Wednesday, and then you get into Thursday and Friday, closer to the Panhandle. And it's not just the intensity of the storm, but we're seeing signs that the storm may slow its forward speed. So many hours of impacts to rain, wind, and storm surge. This is the brand new forecast track from the National Hurricane Center. And the thinking is that it has some sort of an impact by Wednesday evening near the Tampa area as a Cat 3 or Cat 4 hurricane crossing the peninsula and then weakening to a tropical storm over Georgia by the weekend. But you can see how the icons are very close together, indicating that the storm's forward speed will slow down significantly. It's not just rain and wind, it's storm surge, flooding due to the Gulf of Mexico. We're just pushing water towards the coastline and these inlets, these bays. The water gets pushed into Tampa Bay, into Port Charlotte, into Fort Myers. It gets pushed into the bays near Naples. So these red areas that you see shaded right in here, indicating a storm surge greater than 10 feet. Notice you don't see that on the east side of the peninsula, just for obvious reasons, as the storm will pass on the Gulf side of Florida. All right, closer to home, this system across the Great Lakes will lift up into northern New England, so some clouds tomorrow morning, but no precipitation, and then we'll bring in some sunshine. So here's how it breaks down hour by hour. Overnight tonight, watch how the clouds start to fill in. So by tomorrow morning, a cloudy start. Doesn't last very long. We'll start to break this apart, increasing sunshine by late morning, and especially by the afternoon. I was like, oh, nice this is in the afternoon. 70, 74 degrees, lots of sunshine tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, looking good. Clear, cool, and dry by 11 o'clock tomorrow night. Temperatures are in the mid-50s. So cloudy start tomorrow morning, but there are no issues with travel. Kids heading out to school, you don't need the umbrella. It's a dry start. The clouds are giving way to sunshine. And then during the afternoon, about 73, it's one of those lunch outdoors. It looks pretty good, mild and dry. Beaches, water and air temperature nearly identical in the upper 60s. Moderate risk of rip currents. Any clouds giving way to some sunshine by noontime. Bay forecast looking okay with decent visibility on a southwest breeze at 10 to 20 knots. All right, 7-day forecast, just quiet right through the weekend. Notice the cool down, though, by Thursday and Friday with temperatures in the mid-60s. It is a multi-day storm threat. It's not just Wednesday or Friday, but really from Tuesday night all the way through Friday on the entire length of the west coast of Florida. So we'll keep you updated on Hurricane Ian. Closer to home, we are pretty fortunate of a nice stretch of quiet weather.
I have friends down in the Tampa area who just moved, I think 6 months ago, built a house, and they said as they were trying to leave today, you couldn't even get any gas at gas stations. I mean, it's just chaos down there. The
storm surge possibility in Tampa Bay, the way that the structure or the configuration of that bay, the water rises very rapidly, so there's a reason for the evacuations.
Very scary.
Yeah.
All right, Tony. Well.